Hi Laura, here is your assignment, and apparently you didn't get back in here. I was trying to get a hold of you before I graded these because I wanted to point out that though I see there's a slight shift in light quality here, it's not terribly apparent in the images. I mean, I can tell this side's a little bit darker of the steeple up here than it is here, but it's not apparent in the images, and probably why it's not apparent in the images is you're not actually showing us very much of the building. Now, I get it that the assignment requirement doesn't say you must photograph the entire building, as you actually did in several of your shots. However, it's a pretty heavy implication. So I guess the next time I teach this class, I have to say that you need to photograph an entire building or as much of it as photographically possible. Like any of these shots here would have worked really well. You know, and as I go through your images, the only real significant difference in lighting quality that I'm seeing is sometimes you're photographing the shadowy side of the building and sometimes you're photographing the side of the building that's facing the sun. And again, so that's not a huge difference. And then also I would really like to give you a lot of help with your light meter, but just showing me photographs of your light meter doesn't help me help you. You need to actually give me light meter use shots. So show me in the scene where you're metering. And if this means that you need to walk away from your tripod and the camera that's also on your tripod and put yourself in the scene, that's what you've got to do. Use your camera's timer. Because I can't offer you much help on your multiple overexposures here. Based on the visual information I've got. I mean, just pictures of your light meter don't help me at all. At all. So, you know, frankly, I would recommend I guess if you could come back in here and give me a little bit more information about how you were using your meter, or maybe just listen to what I have to say here. So what it looks like here to me is that you were mostly metering in either shade or on the shadowy side of the building, or you're holding your meter in such a way so that there wasn't much sun hitting it, because all of your exposures that are not fully in the sun are very good. These are great exposures. But all of your exposures that are on the sunny side of the building are vastly overexposed. So I think that that's what's going on here, is you were doing a great job metering in the shade and in the shadows, but not so much here in the bright light. Now remember, when you're using your meter in incident mode, you've got to have the Lumisphere up, which you did according to your images down here. Where are they? Nope, I can't tell. I'm assuming. It looks to me right there that the Lumisphere is up. It's on the machine and it's up. And then the Lumisphere should be pointing directly back at your camera. And that means that it would be basically in the sun, you know, just like the building is. So I think there was something else going on here. I think maybe you were holding it in a way that perhaps wasn't perfectly perpendicular to your perfectly parallel to your camera's lens, perhaps, and not facing directly back at it. And then also, like I said, because you've given us just two very tight close-ups of the building, it's hard for me to see a big difference in the lighting. Now, you could have I would have accepted this. I mean, I'm going to grade it anyways. I'll accept it only because you could call me on a technicality that the implication is not apparent to you that you should be shooting the whole building. And I have other students that didn't shoot the whole building as well, and I guess it's a moment it's a learning moment for me. I guess I have to be even more specific. So I would have let that slide more easily if you were shooting at 2 different times a day. But the light's not changing very dramatically here. There's just not a big difference in light quality. So there you go. That's what I've got for you. It's not really fulfilling the requirement of the assignment. Does that make sense? Do you get what we mean when we say two very different qualities of light? Like, for instance, like, you know, at dawn when the light is soft and diffused, and then in midday when the light is hard and direct like this. Do you understand that difference? Please get back in here and let me know. Thanks, Laura.